Hey there, this is Matt once again, and welcome back to the final part of the films that John Ward sent me. Grosse Pointe Blank on Blu-ray. Now, the Blu-ray, the picture quality looked pretty good, and there's only a trailer. But it's still nice to have this film on Blu-ray. This is a very fun movie, very entertaining film. Pretty damn funny, has a great soundtrack. The cast worked very well together. Definitely, in my opinion, one of John Cusack's better movies. And I know it's a film he's proud of. Seems like one of the few films he's proud of. I know there, in a way, there's sort of a spiritual sequel to this called War Inc., aka War Incorporated, just because it has John Cusack and Joan Cusack and Dan Aykroyd and trying to be comedy, but then a little bit of black humor. I don't remember hating that, but I remember not being as good as this. I remember this definitely being the better film. And it's directed by a guy named George Armitage. I know he directed a film called Miami Blues, which I've heard of, but I have not seen. This came out around 1997. John Cusack is a hitman, contract killer, who he's in a little bit of a rut, and he gets this invitation for his 10-year high school reunion. So with some prodding from his assistant, played by John Cusack, he goes there, meets up with Minnie Driver, who is the lady that he left at the prom. He was supposed to take her to the prom, but didn't because he got scared and all this other stuff. Minnie Driver, she's, I would say, most famous for Good Will Hunting. You also have Dan Aykroyd as this rival hitman. He's a lot of fun in this. You have Jeremy Piven, who is an old high school buddy of John Cusack, who he sees again at the reunion. Hank Azaria from The Simpsons, among many others. He's one of these two guys that are kind of working with Dan Aykroyd, but kind of not. Alan Arkin is in the film as this psychiatrist that doesn't really want to talk to John Cusack, but John Cusack kind of makes him do so. I'll give it a shot. No, don't give it a shot. Don't shoot anybody. It's hard to review comedies. That's why I don't do it a lot. But it's a very entertaining film. I like the idea of a hitman having to go back to his high school reunion. And it's like, well, what the hell am I supposed to tell them? How am I supposed to act? The soundtrack to this is really cool. You have, I want to get the Let My Love Open the Door, which is a different mix of the song from The Who, Pete Townsend. You have, what was the one song? Oh, Faith No More, We Care a Lot, which was actually became the theme song to a show I like called Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe. But someone's got, it's a dirty job, but someone's gotta do it. Whoa. There's Live and Let Die, the Guns N' Roses version. That's in this movie. There's the one song I remember the most is a song called Blister in the Sun by I think it's called Violent Femmes. Hell of a name for a band. Anytime I always think of the trailer to this, and then the song appears at least 2 times in the film, including at the end credits. And anytime I think of this movie, I think of that music. That let me go on like a blister in the sun. Sorry about that shitty singing. But never said I could sing for shit. But I like that. I like that song. Again, that's the big thing that pops up when I think of this movie. And I'm trying to think, like, how do I go into this? Because John Cusack, he does a really good job as this guy who's a hitman, and he has his rivalry with Dan Aykroyd. They have some fun banter with each other. This is one point that he tries to have this device that drops liquid, or I forget if it was like liquid or poison or acid into this sleeping guy. He screws up, has to shoot him. He goes, like I said, the psychiatrist and Alan Arkin's going, I'm afraid of you, and that's an emotional involvement. You know, I said no, and you come back every week. And John Cusack said, come on, just help me out. We talk about dreams, and Alan Arkin's like, sure, let's talk about dreams. What are you dreaming about? Oh, I'm dreaming about the rabbit, the Energizer Bunny. It's like, the rabbit? Oh, that's a depressing dream. And John Cusack's like, what? What do you mean? Of course it's a depressing dream, the dream about that rabbit. uh, should I go to this reunion? Yes, yes. Okay, I'll give it a shot. No, 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 don't give it a shot. Don't shoot anything. And you get the idea that even though he's a hitman, they do a good job. Like, I feel sorry for the guy. He goes to his home. His home's been turned to this convenience mart, this store. He visits his mom. His mom is in a place somewhere because she's loopy. His dad has passed away. Like I said, Jeremy Piven meets him. And Jeremy Piven, he's a lot of fun. 10 years, man. 10 years. Where you been, man? Oh, another person who's in this, Benny the Jet Urquidez? I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but Benny the Jet, he's a martial artist that he's fought against Jackie Chan. I think the film was called Wheels on Meals. And Benny the Jet, great martial artist. And I think he also helped train and worked with John Cusack in the handful of fight scenes he has. So it was cool to see Benny the Jet in there. Him and Benny the Jet have this gunfight and this convenience mart. While the worker has these headphones on, he's playing Doom 2 on an arcade machine. Which, first off, I'm like, I'm so stupid. Was Doom 2 at an arcade machine? That's how dumb I am. I always thought it was just a PC game and then went to consoles. I didn't know that was an arcade machine. Damn, that shows how stupid I am. Just because this is the only movie I've seen a Doom 2 arcade machine, which was really cool. And even though he's a hitman, it seems like he still has ethics, he still has values. Because after this fun shootout, he realizes there's a bomb there, put in the microwave, and he gets the guy out, and they both get out there as the thing blows up. The love story worked fine. I thought these two had some pretty decent chemistry with each other. Like I said, the banter between him and Dan Aykroyd are fun. Like, there's a moment where they're talking in this coffee shop, and Dan Aykroyd says something like, go put a bullet in your brain and fuck the brain hole. I always thought that was a good line. And I thought this has a little bit of heart to it. I like this moment. No dialogue. Of course, it helps that Under Pressure by Queen and David Bowie are playing underneath the scene. But there's a moment where someone has a baby and has them hold it. And just this good minute or so shot of just, with different edits, like different angles, I should say, for the editing, where it's just him looking at this baby and this very cute baby looking up back at him, and they're sharing like eye contact, both looking at each other, and then the shots from the side. And it's weird that without dialogue and some nice acting from John Cusack, you get that, okay, there's a moment where an epiphany happens. And I thought that was pretty well done. I like that. I thought that was a sweet, in a weird way, like a sweet scene. Plus, again, the choice of music helps too. Just I like the song Under Pressure. He has this fun fight with Benny the Jet, sort of a grappling type of fight, and has to stab him in the neck with a pin. Gets the buddy Jeremy Piven to put him in the body in the furnace, the school furnace. Minnie Driver sees this, and of course she freaks out. Obviously, he thinks, well, that's done now, and finds out that not only is he there for a reunion, he's there for a target. He finally opens it and finds out that the target is Minnie Driver's dad, which I recognize the actor. I forget the actor's name, but the actor is, I think it was the character of Joshua at Lethal Weapon. I think that's the same guy. I believe that's the same guy. Could be wrong. Not the Dear Abuser, but the other guy who Danny Glover shoots while the car's driving at him. No, no, I think Dear Abuser's character was Joshua. Yeah, so I'm trying to think, what was the one guy's name? No, I'm sorry, I gotta do this. I know I should have done this before, but don't bug the fuck on me if I don't do this. And let me just type in Grosse Pointe Blank. And that's really the rest of the film. It's not a slow-paced movie, and when the flick came out, like, I think it goes at a fast-paced film. Fast-paced. I think the film goes at a fast pace if I knew how to fuck to talk. And Mitchell Ryan, that's his name. Mitchell Ryan. And yeah, he was in Lethal Weapon. And what was his character's name in Lethal Weapon? The General, just the General. Yeah, because Gary Busey's, that character was Joshua, so just the General. I don't even know his character was called the General in that. Peter McAllister, there you go. I don't know why the fuck the one thing said the General. Peter McAllister. Yeah, and Gary Busey was Mr. Joshua. Yeah, Peter McAllister, okay. Mitchell Ryan is his name in real life. Yeah, he plays the dad in this. Sorry, I just wanted to get things straight. And even the action sequences, they're entertaining. Like, he shoots one, then finishes the guy off with a frying pan. And at the same time, you still have the comedy. He's like, listen, I know we can make this work. Both him and Dan Aykroyd shoot the shit out of Hank Azaria and this other guy, so they get massacred. I remember the first time I saw this, I was a bit surprised. I don't know, this kind of death scene I always thought is gruesome. I don't know why, just the idea of it, where Dan Aykroyd, I think the last line he has like popcorn or some stupid shit, and John Cusack takes the TV and just smashes it on Dan Aykroyd's head. And maybe because when Dan Aykroyd's dead, like, his body's still convulsing because of the electricity or the stuff from the TV. Which, I know this is a stupid question, but does that happen if the TV is not plugged in? Do you still do electrical things if the TV's plugged in? Because it may seem like sound effects wise. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that. But I thought that was a nice death for Dan Aykroyd's character. And then the funny thing where, John Cusack is like, will you marry me? And she's like, and then it cuts to them both driving out to that song, Blister in the Sun. That the black humor works well. I think it's a very entertaining film. Like I said, the cast do a good job in their roles. Goes at a fast pace. Like I said, great soundtrack. Some little things I enjoy, like the Doom 2 arcade machine. Fun lines. I'll put a bullet in your head and fuck the brain hole. I love Dan Aykroyd's delivery of that line, too. The love story worked well, and it didn't take up... It was enough for me to give a shit, but it wasn't too much for me to get bored. The bits of action, it's not spectacular, but I thought it was fairly well done for what they were supposed to be. And I see familiar faces like Benny the Jet and Jeremy Piven and Hank Azaria. I thought it was fun to see Dan Aykroyd play this kind of role here. It's not the typical role Dan Aykroyd gets to play, but I thought that made it even more fun. Like I said, definitely one of John Cusack's best roles. Easily one of his best roles. I guess when the film was made, they had shot a couple endings for the film. Because I know on the... They mentioned that on the Wikipedia, which I know you shouldn't base everything on Wikipedia. I understand that, but hey, you bring it up, and then someone can give you more info. And the movie, when it came out, it didn't do the best. It says here on a $15 million budget, it made $28 million, which I don't know with marketing and what the take that movie theaters get, because they get not half, but they get a portion of the profits. They get a portion of whatever's made. So it wasn't like a big hit, but it's definitely a film that I know I'm not the only one that remembers this flick. Let's see. Some interviews with the director. For Grosse Pointe Blank, I shot 3 movies simultaneously. We shot the script as written, we shot a mildly understated version, and we shot a completely over-the-top version, which usually was what was used. And sorry if you heard that, that's my stomach saying, shut up, finish the review so we can eat. But if you didn't hear that, then that's what happened. My stomach growled and said, shut up. Who gives a fuck about the info? Let's eat. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, we're gonna finish this. They had a script, but he shot it for the script, but he also said, let's do another one and let's improvise. Now take this, make it your own, and bring me. Okay. I'm usually rather rough on studio heads in terms of creative help, but after seeing the audience so angry at Alec Baldwin dying in Miami Blues, I guess that was the original ending for it, I decided that on Grosse Pointe Blank this time, dealing with another psychopath, another sociopath, John's character, I just wanted him to survive, and we shot so many different endings. And the people at Disney were generous. We shot 2 or 3 different endings, the 2 of them getting together, talking about things, everything didn't work. We shot 2 or 3 different endings, the 2 of them getting together, talking about things, and everything didn't work. And Joe Ross said at one of the screens, when the father says you got my blessing in the bathtub at the end, after you shoot out, just cut to the 2 of them leaving. I thought, let's give it a shot, and it worked beautifully. Yeah, they even mentioned the unofficial sequel. According to John Cusack, the 2008 film War Inc. is an informal sequel. Both films are similar in style and theme, and both star John as an assassin and his sister Joan Cusack as his assistant, with Dan Aykroyd in a supporting role. I'm not going to review that anytime soon, but maybe one day. Oh, according to Joan Cusack, sorry, not John. According to Joan Cusack, she said that in an interview with... I'm not sure with who, with someone named Jen Yamato. Sorry, I just wanted to get all the facts in there. But anyway, Grosse Pointe Blank, entertaining film. Really enjoyed it. Have enjoyed it ever since I first saw it. Not sure what else I can say other than I'd be repeating myself. But thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.